Hi, welcome back to Flex Yoga. My name is Daphna. Today we are getting into a class specifically designed to help alleviate any lower back soreness or any lower back tenderness. So we're not going to be doing too much in this practice. We're primarily focusing on getting a gentle stretch for the lower back and the hamstrings. So we're gonna go ahead and get started in a embryo pose. Embryo is very similar to child's pose, only you want to be stretching the arms all the way back. I do recommend having a little bit of space between the knees because we are going to need it just shortly after we begin class. But in the meantime, just come into an embryo pose that is comfortable for you. So we're coming into that same sort of child's shape with the legs, whatever is comfortable for you with knees apart or together. And the arms will stretch all the way back towards the feet, allowing the shoulders to kind of splay in. Allow your eyes to close, allow the forehead to rest on the mat. And let's start with a deep breath in from the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. A deep breath in from the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. And again, let's take a nice big breath in. Big breath out. Just breathe into the lower back here, into the back side of the ribs. Sealing off the lips and trying to breathe in and out through the nose. We'll reach the left arm all the way forward. Keep the elbow lifted from the mat here. With your next inhale, you'll begin to round the spine as you lift your hips from the heels, dragging the right arm all the way forward. Once your shoulder is over that left wrist, reach the right arm up as you look up towards the thumb, and then start to draw a line towards the back of the mat with your gaze, with your fingertips as you lower the hips back down to your heels. So it's like we're taking these kind of big rainbow arches with the right arm and allowing the fingertips to guide our gaze. So let's do that 2 more times. So with the inhale, the spine is rounding as we lift the hips from the heels, sweeping the right arm forward and up. And as you exhale, reach the hand back as you lower the hips and look back. Let's do that 1 more time. Inhale, round through the spine as you shift hips forward, reach arm forward and up. Exhale, reach it back, down and around. Good. Keep the hips low, thread right arm through and underneath the left arm, resting the left elbow and resting your head on the ground, feeling the weight of your chest over that right arm, opening into the right shoulder. Let's take a big breath in right here, and a big breath out. Another big breath in, and a big breath out. Once more, big inhale, and a big exhale. Good. Slowly with your next inhale, you'll stretch the right arm all the way forward and reach your left arm all the way back. With your inhale, start to round the spine as you pull the hips away from the heels, drag the left hand forward this time, stretch it all the way up, gaze follows the hand. As you exhale, you reach the hand back and lower the hips. We're doing that 2 more times around. So with the inhale, spine rounds as you shift it forward, reach it high, exhale to lower the hips and stretch that left hand all the way back. And once more, you'll inhale and exhale to send it all the way back. Keep the hips low. The left hand will now thread underneath the right arm and gently rest your head onto the ground, allowing your chest to weigh heavily over that left shoulder and allow the right elbow to rest down on the ground as well. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. A big breath in.
And a big breath out. And just once more, a nice big inhale. Big exhale. Good. Now gently reach the left arm forward. And we're coming up into tabletop. So slowly shift your weight forward, resting shoulders above wrists and knees above, or underneath hips rather. Gentle cat-cows here. With your inhale, belly drops, tail lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, round the spine, push the ground away, tuck your chin to your chest. Let's do that another 3 times. So with the inhale, pull the chest forward as you lift the gaze. Exhale to round through the spine and actively push the ground away. Inhale, heart forward, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, push the ground away. Once again, inhale. And exhale. Let's do just one more final time as you inhale. Pull the chest forward as you lift the gaze. Exhale, round into the spine. Tuck your chin in. Inhale, come into a neutral spine. Tuck all 10 toes under. Exhale for your downward facing dog as you send your sits bones up towards the ceiling. Take a moment here, start to pedal out through the legs, just creating some space in the hamstrings, creating some space in the shoulders, and relieving any tension on the lower back. So I find that kind of moving my hips a little bit from side to side as I pedal out through the legs helps to mobilize the lower back in a very gentle way. We'll take a big breath in right here. Stay for the exhale as you come to stillness. With your inhale, stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, step the right foot outside of the right hand. Find a nice deep bend in that right knee. Inhale, stretch the right arm up, easy twist, and just hold here for 2 whole breaths. Look up to that right thumb as you peel and open your chest upwards towards the ceiling. We'll take a nice big breath in right here. Stay here for the exhale. Another inhale here. And exhale, lower the right hand, wide-legged forward fold. You'll open up the body towards the left, towards the long edge of the mat. Let's take an inhale to find a half lift here. Exhale, walk your fingertips forward as you allow the chest and the forehead to kind of melt between the arms. Allowing the weight to stay in the heels and in the feet. Try to use the hands just to kind of reach and extend through the sides of the waist. You'll take a big breath in right here. And as we exhale, we're finding a twist as the right hand threads underneath the left arm. Grab anywhere on the left leg with the right hand and start to gaze underneath the left arm. So kind of twist your chest underneath that left arm, peeking under it and opening up through the heart space. We'll take a big breath in and a big breath out. Good. Gently unravel that right hand, reach it forward. The left hand will thread underneath the right to grab anywhere on the right leg and slowly start to twist your chest underneath that right arm, peeking underneath it. We'll take a big breath in, big breath out. Good. Gently release that left arm. Walk your fingertips underneath your shoulders here as you take an inhale. Exhale, walk the whole body towards that right foot. And we'll step the right foot back to meet the left in a plank, taking a nice big breath in right here. Exhale, lower your knees to the ground. Extended puppy pose, the arms will stretch all the way forward, resting the elbows and the forehead towards the mat. Just breathe here. Keep the hips above the knees in your puppy pose. So you just really want to feel like you're offering your heart down towards the ground. And breathe here, another 2. Feeling a really nice stretch into the shoulders and a little bit of relief in the lower back. If you have the flexibility, maybe rest your chin or your chest towards the mat. We'll take a big breath in right here where we are, and a big breath out. Good, keep the elbows down, lift your gaze, come into Sphinx pose, shift the weight forward onto the forearms as you lower the hips to the ground. Keep the feet nice and wide on the mat here, bring them to mat's distance. Find a good squeeze in the glutes and use the elbows to feel as though you are dragging them back in order for the chest to come forward. Keep the glutes active, keep the legs active. As you breathe here, take a nice big inhale and an exhale. Really pull the chest forward. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. And another inhale. Exhale, fan the elbows wide to rest the chest and the forehead down towards the hands. Really, really good. You'll take a big breath in right here and a big breath out. Place the palms of the hands underneath your shoulders as you inhale. Hug the navel to the spine. Exhale, press yourself up into a tabletop, trying to not arch the spine in the process. Tuck your toes under and lift up and back into your downward facing dog. Really, really good. We'll take an inhale as the left leg reaches up. Exhale, step left foot outside of the left hand for an easy twist. Keep a deep bend in that left knee. As you inhale, stretch your left hand all the way up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in, try to look up towards the left thumb, and stay here for the exhale. Another inhale here, really open your chest. Stay for the exhale. Good, take one more big breath in. Exhale, lower your left hand down. Good. So now we're coming into a seated Gomukhasana, or seated cow face pose. So we're going to be taking almost like a full 360-degree turn. So just follow my lead here. You'll start to walk your hands over towards the right side of the mat and kind of swivel your feet on the ball of the foot and on the heel. Continue walking your hands now all the way over towards the right foot, so you've kind of changed the orientation towards the back of the mat. And then keep walking until the legs cross. The right leg will be crossed in front of the left. Bend your knees to lower the knees to the ground and sit the hips down towards the mat in that Gomukhasana. The right knee is crossed above the left knee. If this is way too much for your hips, you have 2 ways to modify here. First way to modify is by extending the left leg, that bottom leg, keeping right knee stacked above left knee. If this is still too much for that right glute / that right knee, you can always bring the sole of the right foot onto the ground here and bend the left knee to bring the left heel outside of the right glute. This will give you a nice gentle opening into the kind of left outer thigh, or the IT band a little bit. And you can kind of come into a forward fold, hugging that right knee. So if you are in this last variation of foot outside of knee, foot outside of glute, both knees bent, then you can just kind of stay here, bringing your hands to that right shin and bringing your chest to the thigh. If you are in the extended leg version with knees stacked atop one another, or the kind of most challenging version of both knees bent and stacked above one another, you can slowly start to walk your hands wide and fold yourself atop the right thigh. So we'll breathe here for another 3. Good, breathe here for another 2. And let's take another big breath in. And a big breath out. Beautiful. Slowly sit back up.
And we're essentially coming out the same way we came in so that we can spin ourselves around another 360 degrees to come back down into a seat. So follow my lead. You're going to press into the outer edges of the feet. If that bottom leg is extended, bend it so that you can come out. Press into your hands to lift the hips. You're going to unravel the cross of the legs by walking your hands to the left and kind of swiveling on the balls of the feet. Now keep walking your hands to the left, so you're essentially turning your body to the front of the mat, and then all the way around. This time now the left leg is crossed atop the right. You will bend into your knees to come down into a seat. So again, you can come into the least intense version, keeping that bottom knee bent and the sole of the left foot just outside of that right knee, as well as the left knee just close to the chest. If you felt like you could extend the bottom leg and keep the knees stacked on that first side, you likely can do that here as well. And if you came to the quote unquote most challenging variation with both knees bent and both knees stacked on the first side, then you can recreate that same shape here as well. Walk your hands wide or hug that lifted knee. Take a big breath to lengthen the spine, and exhale to fold yourself forward. You'll take a big breath in right here and a big breath out. Another big breath in and a big breath out. And once again, let's inhale fully and exhale fully. Beautiful. With the next inhale, we'll sit up tall again. You want to press into the outer edges of the feet. So if you extended the bottom leg, that is, you can bend it here. So we can press ourselves out of the posture and spin yourself to the front of the mat. So the left leg is forward. Let's walk the left foot over to the outer left side of the mat and step the right foot to meet it. The heels will slightly turn in as the toes turn out as we set up for Malasana Yogi squat. Hands will come together at our heart center. Find a little squeeze in the glutes, interlace your fingers and bring your hands to the nape of the neck. With the inhale, press the elbows wide as you lift your chest. Exhale, elbows squeeze in together as the weight of your arms presses down gently on the back of the head. Let's do that 2 more times. So with the inhale, elbows fan out as you lift your gaze. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in as you allow the arms to weigh down on the back of the head. 1 more time, inhale, elbows fan out as you lift the gaze. Exhale, squeeze the elbows in to open up through the back line of the body. Good. With the inhale, come into a neutral spine. Exhale, release your hands behind you and sit the bum all the way down to the ground. Soles of the feet at hips distance as the knees stay bent. The hands will come to the backs of the thighs as we inhale to lift into the chest here. Exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Really, really nice. Good. Let's extend the right leg up towards the ceiling here. Interlace the fingers behind the right thigh. We'll roll the right ankle in one direction and then in the opposite direction. Really good. Now slowly with your next inhale, start to walk your hands towards the ankle or as high up on the leg as is available to you, and just breathe into that right hamstring here for an inhale and an exhale. An inhale and an exhale. And again, let's take another big breath in. Big breath out. Bend into the right knee, and you can keep holding on to the right ankle. You can bring your hand to the big toe or the outer edge of that right foot. We're coming into a half happy baby on the right leg and half Baddha Konasana on the left leg. So
Come to the knife edge of the left foot as you open the left knee out to the left, and bring your left hand to the inside of the left thigh, just to remind your hips to be nice and neutral. Now each hand is kind of weighing down on the leg on its side, and we'll breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. And a big breath out. Good. Coming out, we will set the sole of the left foot back down on the ground. Gently release the hold of the right leg to cross right ankle over left thigh. Coming into reclined pigeon, you can thread the right arm through the window between the legs as the left hand wraps around the left leg, either grabbing behind the left thigh or over that left shin. And just breathe here into that right glute for another 3. Good. Apply a little bit of pressure with the left thigh on the right ankle, drawing the legs in a little closer to the body. Let's take one final breath in and a big breath out. Good. Gently release the hold of the left leg. You can set the sole of the left foot down on the ground. Completely cross right knee over left thigh. It's like you're sitting in a coffee shop. Slide your hips over to the right and drop your knees over to the left. We'll extend the right arm over to the right as we breathe here into the spine and into this twist. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. A big breath in. Big breath out. And again, another inhale. And exhale. Good. Now slowly with your next inhale, let's hug the knees back into center. Uncross the right leg from the left and just give yourself a big squeeze here. Hug the knees into the chest for a moment. Maybe gently rock from side to kind of massage the lower back on the ground. Really good. Now set the sole of the left foot down on the ground. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling and interlace your fingers behind the left thigh. We'll roll the left ankle in one direction at first. Good. And in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Really, really nice. Now slowly with your next inhale, bring the foot and ankle into neutral as you begin to walk your hands up a little bit higher on the leg and just pulling the leg in closer to your body here as you breathe in for 3. Another 2. And we'll take another big breath in. And breath out. Bend into the left knee to reach either for the left ankle, the left big toe, or the outer edge of the left foot for the half happy baby on the left leg. Then slowly start to roll to the knife edge of the right foot. Open the right knee out to the right. Each hand is weighing heavily on the leg on its side. So the right hand is on the inner right thigh and the left hand is grabbing onto the left leg in that half happy baby, half Baddha Konasana shape. And we'll take a big breath in here. Big breath out. A big breath in. Big breath out. And again, another inhale. And an exhale. Slowly, the sole of the right foot will meet the ground again, and then the left ankle will cross above the right thigh for your reclined pigeon. Left hand threads between the window, or through the window between the legs, and the right hand wraps around the right leg, either grabbing behind the thigh or over the shin as you breathe here. Take a nice inhale, feeling the stretch into the left glute, maybe even the groin and the inner thigh. Feel a nice stretch here. Allow the right knee to gently apply some pressure into the left ankle to draw the legs a little bit closer to the body, feeling even deeper into that stretch. We'll take another big breath in right here. Big breath out. Good. Gently release the hold of the right leg. Set the sole of the foot back onto the ground. Cross the left knee above the right thigh like you're sitting at a coffee shop. Slide your hips over to the left and drop your knees onto the right side. As you extend the left arm, look over the left shoulder, and you'll take a big breath in. And big breath out. A big breath in, big breath out. And again, another inhale and an exhale. Slowly with your next inhale, hug the knees back into center as you unravel the legs. We'll bring the feet as wide as the mat here. Turn the toes in towards one another a little bit, like pigeon toeing your feet, so that the knees can collapse towards one another and feel that support and broken bridge. The arms can open out into goalpost arms, creating like a cactus shape as you bend the elbows, aligning the elbows with the shoulders and the elbows with the wrists. We'll take a big breath in through the nose. Big sigh out. Deep breath in through the nose. Big sigh out. And just allow the breath to come back into a neutral rhythm and a neutral pace. And just feel the way that the spine is kind of completely neutral, lying back on the ground and feeling the support beneath your sacrum, feeling the support between the shoulders, and feeling the support in the back of your head. Just allow your body a moment to reset and rest. We'll take another big breath in right here. Big breath out. Slowly start to kind of heel toe the feet together. Roll over your left side for a fetal position. Just giving your body a moment to reset and gain energy here as you take an inhale and an exhale. With the next breath in, we're slowly making our way up into a comfortable seat, collecting the hands together at the heart center. And we'll take one final cleansing breath here as we inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Inhale the thumbs to your third eye, recognizing mind, intellect, intuition. Exhale, bow the chin to the chest, recognizing light, life, and love within.
Thank you so much for taking the time to move your body, even and especially when you're feeling some tenderness or soreness in the lower back. I hope that this class was helpful in alleviating some of that tension and making you feel just a little bit kind of better in the spaces that have felt sore. Thank you so much for kind of trusting me and guiding you and allowing me to guide you through that. If you enjoyed this class and want to see more videos like this, then please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and maybe even share it with a friend or a loved one. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.